You have to suck it dry. When I was a kid, I was like going through all the speech competition, reading competition. I love like weird competition as a tiny child. It was really fun, and that was how I get my confidence. Because I was bullied for around 12 years. The reason why we go to a therapist is because we need to solve the inner trauma or the childhood trauma so that you can grow and become a stronger force. And I'm keeping myself aggressively busy because sometimes I don't necessarily want to think about self-care, but I should. Like usually there's a lot of like self-doubt, there's a lot of like, am I doing this right? Am I properly putting on makeup? Now I need to go to TomTom's house. He's waiting for me in bed, which I love.
Do you want the people to be scared of you?
I want them to be intimidated. I think like when I put on these boobs and this big hair, like all these big makeup, I want people to feel a little bit intimidated, but at the same time they're intrigued. They want to know who you are.
Those are not real?
Those are real.
Oh, that's
Those
what I
are
thought.
real when I'm Sandra.
So how are you planning to level up this year to be Taipei's #1 drag queen?
First of all, I have my YouTube channel. It's called SANDRA HOE. Search SANDRA HOE, but remember to type the full name HOE. I'm planning to make more videos, make more YouTube videos. In my video, I do one part, which is Cook with Sandra. The other part is Liho, which is the interview part. I want to be able to ask great questions. Serve hot food, but also ask hot questions. Other thing I want to do, I want to go to dance classes. Because Sandra is not known for a dancing queen.
Oh, you're Dua Lipa?
When you work with different drag queens, you practice makeup with them, you actually learn different like techniques and skills. So I want to do makeup with different drag queens.
Yeah.
Like just like put on makeup, practice makeups, or like some of them even offer like classes. I took Camille's class and it's amazing. It's improved my makeup so much. I remember last year I was hosting Come Party, and when I showed up, that was like already after several classes with Kimmy. When I showed up, Bouncy looked at my face and it said, "Thank God your makeup improved."
You have a character to play, so you'll probably stick to the same face makeup. So, but what do you think you can learn in the class?
I don't think I need to stick to a certain shape. I wanted to try, like, for example, some looks. I wanted to paint my whole face green because this year I have a look that's coming up that is completely inspired by jade cabbage in Palace Museum. The cabbage root, which is green, and I have the hair, which is like mimics the cabbage itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you edible?
You can eat me anywhere, especially in TomTom's bed. I mean, like, I love to serve you abalone.
Oh, talking about fish already.
Even though I don't like women's abalone, but I love to be fishy.
Would you consider eating a bottom feeder? A bottom feeder is maybe like a flounder or a halibut or a bass.
I love a halibut. I love a flounder. Actually, I like a top fat eater. I love a fat bottom eater. I love all the eater. I love all the seafood.
We are pro seafood here.
We are pro seafood.
I think that's my favorite type of cuisine.
Oh yeah.
So if you could cook some seafood on your show, what would you like to prepare?
I've already made gambas al ajillo, which is Spanish garlic shrimp. I want to make more deep fries, like tempura, because I love them.
How about a deep fried catfish? We like that where I'm from.
Yeah, I want to make like all sorts of seafood. Even though I have to actually, when I shoot them, because I shoot it at home, I have to wait until my roommate is gone because she hates seafood. And she hates the smell of the seafood, so I can't make it.
Oh, so she's not a lesbian. Speaking of food, is there a place we can go to see you perform and also enjoy eating food at the same time?
I'm going to host a drag brunch at the end of July. I'm really excited about that. Then that's when you have bottomless mimosa, amazing brunch food, and you get to see those babies, and you get to see, like different drag queens just entertaining you by your table, showing you my abalone.
She is cooking. Since it's class time, every episode we have class time, I thought we could ask you some questions about cooking.
Yeah, serving you fish.
It's time to get a little fishy and go party down under.
Yeah.
Under the sea, that is. If you get the question right, well, cheers. And if you get the question wrong, you'll have a special punishment made just for you.
Okay.
The first question is, in what country is paella considered a national dish?
Spain.
Wow, you got it right. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Do you like paella?
I love paella. It's one of my favorite food.
What is it? Teach the people at home.
Paella is like a seafood risotto, but first it's always served in a very hot pan, so there's like slightly bit crisp at the bottom, and then the rice is cooked, and usually I think you started with like raw rice when it's not cooked. You cook it in seafood broth, and you put it on top with a lot of seafood, so it's like tasty, like with a lot of umami, and it's just so Spanish, which I love. I mean, like I love Hispanic guys. So if you are a Hispanic guy and you love a drag queen,
Raw rice.
raw rice. Oh
Raw
yes, I'm a raw rice. That's cook this rice raw. Okay.
Question 2.
Yes.
Which seafood is commonly known to be an aphrodisiac? If you eat this seafood,
Yeah.
You might start to notice urges coming from your groin.
Oyster.
You got it. Cheers.
I know my food. I'm actually making some oyster tonight. Some deep fried oyster. Yes, I want every man who's on my table just say want it
To shuck 'em.
to shut them.
Well, the final question is the easiest one so far. It's like, so don't worry.
Yeah. Okay.
You got this.
Usually that's not the truth. Okay, tell me, ask me.
Oh, which seafood is TomTom's favorite?
TomTom's favorite is shrimp or lobster.
Shrimp was a good guess. I really do love shrimp. Lobster is definitely not my favorite seafood. It's one
Okay.
of my least favorite, actually.
Because it's usually cooked dry.
And I would say it's crab, specifically crab claws.
Ooh.
Yes, I grew up by the sea, and there were seafood restaurants that had these appetizers on the menu.
Yeah.
And you could order a crab claw appetizer that had maybe
Oh my God.
50 claws on it. You're supposed to share with the table.
No, you eat it yourself.
I would eat the whole damn thing myself.
No, we're not sharing it.
Unfortunately, you didn't get it right. So
Okay, punish me.
you're gonna have to lip sync for your life.
And I learned how to get along into your face. From that space, I just walked in and find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known for just for a second, you'd be back if I could leave. Going out cold, walk out the door, just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore.
Hey everybody, if you're enjoying Sandra Ho as much as I am, and you want to see more exciting guests join me in bed, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Up next, Sandra and I are going to talk about mental health. If that's something that's troubling you, please reach out to a friend or family member. There are a lot of options available for you. So I hope everybody stays safe and healthy, and enjoy the rest of the show.
I actually started drag when I was going through depression. It helps me to kind of to focus and to portray or to create a kind an image that for me, I grew up with aunts and fierce sassy mom. So being in drag kind of helped me to channel those strong, powerful Taiwanese woman's energy, and then that helped me to think of who I want to be, and that makes me a lot happier. And I love writing this love letter to all the aunts and all the moms out there.
Is this energy you have when you're in drag, when you take off your wig and you take off your makeup and you take off the boobs, can you still harness this special power in your day-to-day life as Benson?
Yes, definitely, because you'd be able to create that and then create those impact on whatever audience who came to my show, give them a good time, and then that reminds me, this is all because of me, who I am, and then I created that, so I'm capable of carrying this energy even when I'm out of track. You know, that just improved my overall confidence. And that's actually also why I start cooking, because when I cook, I made food for my friends. They'll come over and then they'll have a good meal. We'll have great conversation. And I think great conversation and stories really help me to realize, first of all, how lucky I am, and then how much love we can experience in our daily life. And then I can collect all these love, project them in a bigger way in Sandra. One thing I learned from my therapist, they always ask, how's your day or how's your week? And then I think for no matter what you're going through, ask, how are you feeling? And what are those feelings?
We're gonna do this here on the bed.
Okay. Hi, TomTom.
Hi.
Thank you for coming in today. First, of course, before we start our conversation today, would you mind telling me about your week? So one thing that you mentioned that interests me a lot is, do you get bored often and it just fell off from the plan that you have?
Absolutely. So you get bored often and you just resort back to vices I'm bored so I'll eat, or I'm bored so I'll binge TV or YouTube, or other things.
And do you think that you're trying to avoid to continue those good habits, or you just need other sorts of excitement to keep you excited about life?
Yeah, I guess what I'm looking for is other people who are on the same path, who want to do great things and make big changes, and we can encourage each other.
Nice. I think that's because after 10 minutes of this trial of therapist, I'm going to start charging. This is what we usually do in a therapy. I will tell them about anecdotes or things that happen in my life, and then they'll dig deeper, and then they'll dig deeper. I think a great therapist or a good friend who's there to listen is about asking good questions.
Yeah, I feel better already.
Wow. I'm not trained, but I'm just trying to project the therapist energy that I get from my therapist. I personally do believe that no matter what you're going through, you need to find someone, and you need to try to talk to yourself or find someone to unwrap what you go through in the past week.
I totally agree. Thanks for being so open and honest with us.
Yeah, and because I personally, when I was depressed, I was so depressed I was self-destructive at one point. And talking to my therapist, one thing that it just really strikes me that she says, it is a protection system for someone to be self-destructive. And it is a part of you. Have you ever validated the existence of that part of you? That's that part of you, the destructive persona inside of you. Tell them, I acknowledge your existence and I know you're there, and let's work with each other so that we can, there are things that you could be a little bit self-destructive with, does not really fuck you up. You can have entertainment, you can do something fun, do some extreme sports. My therapist always tell me that as someone who have ADHD and bipolar, you have too much energy, and then sometimes you have too much energy and you spend so much energy being depressed. Go do extreme sports, exhaust your brain, and it helps you to process all these things instead of doing crazy stuff overfeeding yourself, over drinking. You can do something.
When I'm sitting still, my mind is running at 1,000 miles per hour. But when I'm moving, or especially if I'm using my hands to make something, that's when I find the calm in my mind. It's really nice.
There are studies that when you jerk off and then when you ejaculate, at that point, your mind is actually quite empty.
I wonder why I often find myself spending an afternoon gooning.
Gooning! That's a great word.
It's such a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much. I had so much fun. never had experience to be in bed and then have so much conversation before the action. So
Some of us like to chat.
I love that. Great chat, and thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much, Sandra Ho. We'll see you on the stage. Or no, first, we'll see you on the streets.
We're gays in Taipei. Of course, we love to play gotcha.
We're gays in Taipei. Of course, we look nice.
We're gays in Taipei. Of course, we put an umbrella even when it's not raining. The sun is aggressive. We're gays in Taipei. Of course, we know how to drive a scooter. What was that? Those are bobas. We're gays in Taipei. Of course, we know how to drink boba tea. We're gays in Taipei. Of course, we can walk safely down the streets in drag.
We're gays in Taipei. Of course, we work out at World Gym.
And work out in the locker room too.